to the folks at the very top, and average families haven't seen it. They've had to work harder just to keep up.
Maryland has the highest average household income among the 50 states at more than $68,000.
The acquisition of Baltimore City's only Fortune 500 company is now being closely scrutinized. Constellation Energy has agreed to be purchased by an Iowa company owned by multi-billionaire Warren Buffett. But now there's word that Constellation CEO could wind up receiving a huge severance deal, perhaps tens of millions of dollars. John Riddell has the latest.
We'll fund this transaction with cash.
Greg Abel leaves no doubt about his company's deep pockets. He's the CEO of Mid-American Energy, which plans to acquire Constellation Energy. The price, $4.7 billion. And as with many mergers, the CEO of the company being acquired often walks away with a monumental severance package. Now the Daily Record is reporting that if the merger is approved, CEO Mayo Shattuck could receive a golden parachute worth at least $47 million.
As part of his severance package, Mayo Shattuck would reportedly receive 3 additional years of base pay plus $30 million in pension funds. And perhaps best of all, the taxes on all that income would be paid by the company.
That would really burn the daylights out of me.
State Senator George Della shudders at the prospect that tens of millions of dollars could eventually be paid out to Constellation executives.
They think they're entitled to walk away with a lot of money. They're not doing a good job.
Constellation officials won't comment on the numbers, but a proposed severance package of $40+ million for Shattuck was reported 2 years ago when Constellation tried to merge with Florida Power and Light. The merger collapsed amid stiff opposition from state lawmakers, among them Delegate Pat McDonough, who's written a letter to Attorney General Doug Gansler calling on him to investigate Constellation's fall from grace.
How did that stock go down 70%? And who was responsible? I don't know why people aren't asking Mayo Shattuck and his management team serious questions about why this is happening.
But for some BGE customers, a deal is a deal.
The pen is muddier than the sword. A contract is written for a reason, to abide by it, not to break it.
Yet others view Mayo Shattuck's possible windfall with amazement.
When he goes to sleep at night, does he really feel comfortable with receiving that for what's going on with the economy and where we are right now?
In Baltimore, John Riddell, Fox 45 News at 10.
Mayo Shattuck would only receive a huge severance package if Mid-American Energy decides not to keep him. Company officials say that decision has not yet been made.
And that brings us now to our question of the day. Do you agree with a $47 million severance package for Constellation CEO Mayo Shattuck? So far, 18% of you say yes, 82% no. Roy of Columbia writes, I think it's obscene. People should not be rewarded for doing a bad job. That $47 million should be used to bail out the company and not a bad CEO. But Buddy of Stevensville writes, Mr. Shattuck was offered that package by the board of directors. The stockholders need to hold the board of directors accountable. As always, we thank you very much for writing. On to